Alright, most of the parts I've been receiving in the mail have been fun parts for the motorcycles. This is a little bit more of a necessity. I think I know what's in here, but we'll open it up and take a look. So the most important thing is actually this. This is the thermostat for the Miata. I think this is going to actually solve the issue that I'm having that's allowing the Miata to overheat a little bit. Kind of a lot of bit at one time. So, got this. Also have a couple of little hoses. Well, a real little hose and then a slightly larger little hose. Because we have this, which is an upgraded aluminum radiator from Cobalt. Let's open this up and we can actually take a look at it. Let me rephrase that. So if you're looking for a Miata radiator, you'll find there's kind of a tiered system. You can get an OEM style radiator, which is actually not this. I shouldn't have this. You can get an OEM style. It has the plastic. The OEM style radiators are kind of known for being a temporary thing. I mean, the radiator on that car has lasted, 30 plus years, 35 plus years. But they're kind of known to be 10 to 20 year radiators, at least the aftermarket ones. You could alternatively get an aluminum radiator. I went with Cobalt. Cobalt, as far as the aluminum radiators go, it's a little bit better than your, average eBay find, but it's not quite as good as I forget what the other one's called. It starts with a K, but there's kind of a step above this that I could have gone with. But I'll show you this here. Okay, there's considerably more foam than I expected. Just start throwing stuff in there, but here it is. If you're wondering why I'm outside, it's just nice out. And if you're wondering, this Cobalt radiator goes for about $250. The OEM style are a little cheaper. The ones I was looking at, they were like $150, $180. And then the really fancy stuff, if you're going to run a turbo or other forced induction, and you want something like bulletproof, you can get some that are like $400. And a lot of people will say it's worth it, but for mainly commuter car, honestly, like I have, it doesn't really make sense to go all out. I'm planning on keeping the original 1.6 liter engine, at least for now. So, alright, here it is. When I install this, typically with these, if you are going to run into any trouble, you'll run into it right away. Leaks, issues like that. But I'm not expecting any. I was starting to worry that I didn't order the lower hose coming out of the radiator, but I did. So that's good. Right here. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's pretty funny. This is a little inspection report for the radiator. It says inspect report. And it's kind of funny. You can see that radiator assembly should be clean, and all welding are fastness, reliable, and beauty. I like to think that a couple of my items around here are fastness, reliable, and beauty. But recently, it's just been fastness and beauty. But hey, it takes some effort to get up to reliable. Anyway, all right, let's get to work. All right, the first step here is to jack up the Miata. Normally in my garage, since it's so crooked, normally I jack up one side and then the other side. I might be able to slide under the front and just lift up both sides at once, but I'm going to take a look here and see what I have to do. So the two main components we're replacing here is the thermostat, which sits in here and regulates the temperature of the engine. It does that by opening and closing valves to allow coolant to go through the cooling system or to avoid it. And then the other thing we're replacing here is the radiator. So looking underneath here, right up here, there's a little plastic screw. We're going to pull that out. That's our drain plug for the cooling system. So I don't know if there's a great way for me to set up the camera, but try this. Who knows if this is a good angle, but okay. Jacked up the car pretty high, so it's actually kind of coming up, flashing a little bit everywhere, but that's alright. Undid the radiator cap so it would flow a little bit better there. It helps to avoid some splashing. Alright, so up next we're going to disconnect this wire and then start pulling this thermostat off. There's a gasket on the inside that we're going to replace as well. These are two 12mm bolts, and this should, in theory, come right out. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, set that to the side and pull those two bolts off. This is our full temperature gauge thermostat. Alright, so I forgot to film a little bit. We removed the plastic tray, flash guard, whatever you want to call it. We did install the new thermostat as well, so sorry I kind of skipped a lot of content there. And then we're working on actually removing the radiator. So I replaced the lower hose. I had ordered a new one, but it looks like this. I'm reusing the hose clamps. And in theory, we should be close to where I can just pull this up through. Alright, up next we're swapping the old fans from the old radiator to the new one. Up next we need these mounting points. We'll pull those off and put them on the new radiator. That way when we drop it in, it'll stick in place. I think I actually missed the part where I was actually putting it in the car. But there it is. So it's got to hook everything back up. Can't believe I missed that shot, but it is what it is. So got our 12 millimeter bolts here. We got the upper radiator hose, the other little hose here connects right there. We got our electrical connections, which I'll do right now. One, the other one's here.